Well, good morning everyone. Today we are going to clean the air filter on the Mule. We're going to make sure that we don't have any dirt trying to get into the carbureting system, as well as making sure that we don't have any other problems elsewhere. Now the manual does suggest that you clean this every 20 to 50 hours depending on your riding conditions. If you're riding in a lot of dust or if you're riding in a lot of water, you may want to inspect it a little sooner than that. Okay? I hope you enjoy the video and I hope some of this information helps you. Thanks for watching. Let's get started. It's beautiful outside this morning. Now our air filter is inside our battery compartment box here. We're simply going to lift the latches up. And I hope you get enough light here to where you guys can see. I'm just going to slide this off and set it back here in the Mule. Now the first thing I'm going to look at is make sure I don't have a bunch of dirt around this air filter box before I remove this. That way I don't have something potentially falling into the box or into the carbureting system. Let me get a brush and we're going to lightly dust that off before we remove the cover. Now, since this is the heart of the carbureting system, I do not want to get anything that can free travel into this when we have this filter removed. I'm just going to make sure that we've got all that out of there. Now we know that the area is clean of dirt. There's a hose right here that just simply has a little clip. You're going to want to unclip that first, and it just pinches itself in there. And this is also your drain hose. It shows you if you have water, in which I do have some water in there. See if we can get this emptied out before we actually get the air box loose. That's the stuff you definitely don't want in there. Let that drain good. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there so I don't lose it. Okay, and that's just a little spring clip there. And we've removed it from the bottom of the air filter box. So when we unclip this, and these are just spring clips as well, this guy will be ready to slide out of here for us. It's a good opportunity to inspect the inside of your filter housing here. Alright, so now that we've got the housing out of the way, we're just simply going to slide our air filter out. I am going to go ahead and make sure I've got a clean rag and just block this hole off here. That way we can't run the risk of getting something inside the engine before we get done here. Okay, we're going to remove the adapter. Okay, now this adapter, while we have it out, we want to make sure that we don't have anything broken on this foam or missing, or if it's saturated with water or anything like that. That is actually the final seal in between the air filter and the housing here. Now that's interesting that Kawasaki used Donaldson manufacturing to put the air filter in. They're one of the largest filter manufacturers in the world, so that tells me we can probably get this at any auto parts store and reference the number and be able to replace that. I mean, obviously you can order them, but I bet you can pick this up at AutoZone or something like that pretty easily. Okay, now that we have the filter off, let's get the air out, and we're going to push compressed air on the inside of the filter and blow the dust out and away from it. Alright, make sure that we don't have any paper or anything like that missing. This is actually pretty clean. I do see some dust there though. Let me shut this door. Let's get the air hose drug over here and we'll clean this thing up. And we don't have to get overly aggressive here. We just want to make sure we've gotten, dust cleaned out of it. wasn't bad at all. Now most of the time when you pull these things out, if you've been really trail riding hard, this whole thing will be covered in dust, just like a lawnmower filter. Okay, you can check that by bumping it against your hand. If you're seeing anything fall out of it, you probably want to continue cleaning. And another thing, if it's excessively dirty, again, just a soft bristle brush, you can clean these things up pretty well like that as well. I'm impressed this has been easy so far. Normally you have to get out, you know, the filter oil and things like that and actually clean everything up and rinse it out with soap and water and all kinds of things. I mean, the fact that they put us an air filter in there that we can probably pick up any place, that's nice. And definitely would be worthy of having an extra one around for you. Now, again, that's something I would mention. If you ever get into deep enough water to where this thing is saturated with water, at that point you're going to have to replace it. And that's why I say, you know, actually having a spare in your pickup truck or something like that, if you're out trail riding and away from home, that'd be a good idea. All right, we've got this clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and check our adapter and make sure that we don't have any dirt inside this thing. And like I said, now, you really want to be careful with this thing. Don't get overly aggressive there. Run the risk of tearing that. Make sure the back side of it's good. All right. Compressed air here. That's good. This guy down. Now the housing itself, I'm going to go ahead and blow it clean, make sure it's dust free. Now that's good. Now while I have you out here in enough room to show you, when we reinstall this, there's actually slots on the top, and I thought, yeah, and one right here on the bottom. So when we slide this back in, it can only go in one way. Okay, they've made this simple. I think we're ready to reinstall, guys. Now there was no types of clamps or anything holding this onto this adapter, so it just simply matches up. Make sure you get a good tight seal there. Okay. That's ready. Let me bring you guys back over here where you can see we're going to reinstall this. It's a simple project. Now in this area, I do not want to use compressed air without the air filter in place. We don't want to blow this inside the housing here and run a chance on getting that into our motor. So I'm just going to lightly rag that out of there. Okay. This one cleaned up right here on this lip. Like I said, these clips only allow this to go in a certain way. Okay, now we've got that installed. probably going to be the hardest part of the process here. Make sure everything lines up and that you get it right back into that other part of the housing here, so that way that rubber gasket seals up good for you. Okay, now we got to put our drain hose back onto our hooks down here. Now we're going to put our battery compartment cover back on. Make sure everything lines up. There we go. Now there's little plastic clips that sets down into the holes right here, and also back here. And that's a complete project. Something that's extremely simple to do. And again, the fact that Kawasaki used a Donaldson brand air filter on that is going to make it simple for you to find the air filter, and inexpensive to keep a new one around as well. I hope this information has helped you in some way. If you're out riding, have fun. That's always why we've got these things. I mean, it's always fun to get out and push these things to their limit, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.